Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are continuing the 100 Dragon Challenge. So, for today's episode, I wanted to continue the Zodiac series because we're in the last, I think we have like maybe 2 or 3 Zodiac ones left. And then we're going to probably sprinkle in one more, and then we're done. And then we're in the finale. It's crazy. So today I wanted to do the Year of the Ox Dragon. So this one is for sure like giving me flashbacks of Taurus from the Celestial Zodiac. So I tried to make sure it was different. I don't want it to be too same since both of them have like ox characteristics. So I wanted to push this one a little bit more and try something different than my previous ox dragon. So for this one, I kind of had an idea of making it I guess not really like a demon per se, but I guess kind of more demonic looking in general, and combining that with some other dragon attributes, adding some more cool horns, and just like really accentuating a lot of the detailing on this creature. So of course, like some of the details I had to think about were for the horns for this like ox, I'm like, do I want to do more traditional ox horns or make them more like dragon horns? And I think I kind of made a nice in-between where they look like they could be ox-shaped horns, but then they have some extra detailing and a little bit of a different curvature, so they look a little bit more dragon-like. And then I added a couple more like secondary horns to like the face region. I thought that helped too, make it more dragon-like instead of just a straight cow. And then I kept the face shape similar to an ox, but I added some more tusks and kind of manipulated the face shape just a little bit more, so then it was kind of like not fully ox. It was just kind of a bit of both. So after those initial kind of rough sketches were done, it was time to get into the final drawing sketch. And I wanted to show off a lot of this creature's body because I had a couple things in mind on how I wanted to make this look kind of like an ox, but also a dragon. So I wanted to lay out the full body so you could see everything. And this one, I was actually really impressed with my anatomy. Honestly, with you, just to tell you guys, ox and horses are really hard for me to draw. I am not a huge fan of like their anatomy. I mean, okay, they're really cool. Like the anatomy themselves, like is great, but my art skills doesn't like it. I've always really struggled with horse anatomy and like kind of more equestrian type of creatures, and I feel like cattle kind of also fall into that similar scope. Like I love deer and like elk and things and all those, but I just struggle with the anatomy, and it's something I've been working on because my comic that I'm working on, the main character rides like an elk, and I'm like, I need to get better at drawing these. So I've been doing like a little bit of practice here and there and trying to incorporate it more in my creature designs to like really force me to get better at it. And I feel this dragon, it felt like I finally had a better grasp of how like the ox anatomy would work. So after that sketch was done, it was time to jump in and do the line art and really add a lot of this detailing. And this is usually my favorite step, and I think I've told you guys this a million times in these videos, but it really comes together during the line art, and I can see what detailing I do or don't want to keep. Because a couple things that I sketch, I end up not translating to ink, or I replace it with a different idea once I get inking. So I was really liking how this was looking. And this kind of reminded me of like almost like a Pegasus type of creature, but like with a dragon and not a horse, and it's more like an ox. I just thought it was a really fun design, and I had a blast just like creating this kind of intimidating, really like stocky creature. I don't think its wings would work very well just based off of like how big this thing is. But I like them. I think it looks really cool with the size difference and just like the overall design. I had a lot of fun with. So after doing the line art and getting it cleaned up, here in a minute we're going to start brainstorming a couple of different colors. So my gut instinct when I was starting this was to do kind of like a black ox. That's kind of where my brain goes to when I'm thinking of an ox, is just like kind of like a black Angus ox, I guess you could say. or like the ones that they have in the Spanish bullfighting. That's kind of where my brain goes when I think of ox. But I wanted to add a little bit of diversifying with like color and such, because I didn't want this whole thing to just be different shades of gray and black. I'm like, I think we need a little bit more than that, especially because it's a dragon. So I wanted to incorporate some more like earthy colors and reds and browns, just kind of all together with these darker grays. And I thought that would look really cool just to have kind of that diversity of a color palette. And then I decided for its like accessory jewelry, I just like the idea of the gold with the darker grays and the reds. I thought that would all tie in together really well. So that's kind of where I was heading with this color palette. So now it's time to jump in and really get started on this coloring. I wanted to do like a transition from these black, darker grays into more of a tan and tannish red combination. I saw this really cool Warhammer figure actually online when I was searching oxes and things. There's this character, I guess, that's in Warhammer that's like a bipedal ox, like kind of like a minotaur. And whoever did the painting on that figure did like this black color to a tan combo. And I'm like, I really like how they did that, but I'm just going to change it a little bit because theirs went into more of like a lighter tan, and I wanted mine to be more primarily like reddish and like have that lighter tan with it, just because I felt the red really tied it together with the idea of a dragon. So I'm like, that needs to be the primary earthy tone, is this red tan. And so I kind of took how they did the coloring for their minifigure and combined it with this and then pushed the red even more. And I thought it turned out really cool. I wouldn't have like thought of doing this color combination without doing a little bit of Google searching, because at first I was looking at like different ox colors and like what happens naturally from the different breeds that we have, and none of them were really like super speaking to me. And when I saw that little Warhammer figure, I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. This is it. This is perfect. I love this. So I'm really pleased with how this color palette turned out and how the transition between the two went. I like that like stark contrast of the darker gray against these tans and this reddish tan. I just love it. I think it turned out really cool. And again, I'm super like pleased and impressed with how this turned out. I feel like I said in previous ones, I feel these final 10 are going to be some of the best dragons I've made in this series for me personally, just because it's, you know, combining multiple like dozens and basically almost 100 dragons into these final ones. So I was really happy with how this turned out. And then I also continued the tan into the wings. I thought that fit really well, and that poor tan marker is dying, but it made it through. It made it through this. So I really need to buy another one of those tans if they're available. There's a lot of Copic markers that they're discontinuing, so that's kind of a bummer. Some of my favorite colors I don't think they're going to keep making. But anyway, here's the finished dragon. I really like how it turned out. I love the reds and the tans and the like darker grays. So let's go ahead and look at your guys's from last month for the rooster dragon. Gree2489, I really like the colors you chose for this one with the blues and the reds. It just is a really fun combination for like a rooster dragon combo. And Dragon Eye, I like that you leaned a lot into the look of a rooster, but I can for sure see all the dragon attributes like on the wings and the beak. Really cool design. And all of you did a really awesome dragon design for this rooster one. There was some really fun ones out there. So if you guys would like to participate in this month's Ox Dragon, make sure to post it on Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag KM100Dragons. And I just ask, if you guys do Instagram, please tag me in it as well. They have a weird new system for sorting through hashtags, so it's a little hard for me to find. So I apologize if I missed yours for the Rooster Dragon, but just make sure to tag me because I don't want to miss your guys' entry. And if you don't have Twitter or Instagram, you can also join our Discord community, where we have a whole channel there where you can post and share your dragons with the rest of the community. And besides that, if you guys aren't already, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button, join our little community. We're almost done with this dragon challenge, and I can't wait to show you guys the final few. So thanks again, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.